Hello people, and this is hopefully my successful attempt at a second video. Was having some syncing issues, so hopefully this cutscene is synced up. Uh, Excuse me. This guy does not age. No, this guy coming up, I think I recognize him from Stargate SG-1 or Atlantis. Some sci-fi show, but I don't know, and both my suggestions could be wrong. One thing I like about this game is the women aren't blatant fan service. They look professional to the part, and yes, they're quite attractive, but they don't have their cleavage hanging out. Okay, so North Carolina Badlands. Recent satellite intelligence points to a suspicious level of activity in the North Carolina Badlands. INOPS is concerned that the Brotherhood of Nod may be setting up shop there. Your mission is to investigate and report back as soon as possible. An abandoned GDI training facility is located nearby. Use that as your base of operations in the area. Yes, I will be reading them all. I doubt anybody who will, read them themselves if they want, and if they wanted to, I'd probably delete it before they got the opportunity to. Heaven forbid that certainly happens to me in every LP I play. Let's take these guys and get interrupted by a transmission. One thing I do not like about this game is they have an unnecessary tutorial, because this is the First, GDI mission. GDI missions are what you're expected to play first, and won't you know it? It's a glorified tutorial. I went through this in my first video where I did the tutorial and learned how to play the game. Now granted, this is my game just froze. Now granted, this is a relatively more in-depth tutorial, but it's essentially still a tutorial. So why have a separate one when this covers everything and more? Yeah, for those of you who didn't listen, Tiberium was essentially the ore in Command and Conquer Tiberium Wars. There's, I believe, green and blue Tiberium being more valuable but less likely to find and less of it on the map, I believe. And Red Alert, it was ore and jewels. I like this one better because green and blue Tiberium just simply seems more realistic than uh, ore in jewels. Ore makes sense, but jewels doesn't to me. So let's build a barracks. I'm saving this area up here for the airfield because, well, this was originally going to be a semi-blind LP. I've probably played this level about half a dozen to a dozen times and scrapped all the recordings due to issues. Oh well, I'd rather get the video done correctly, or at least as correctly as I can get it, than have it be a mess. One thing I do apologize for is that the fact that this is not a full screen video. I record my footage and there's a black border across all the four sides of the screen. I don't know how to get rid of that, and I emailed Hapog Tech Support and, excuse me, yet to hear back from them. If I hear back from them at all, that'd be great, but they may very well just view me as a nuisance who can't do proper research or what have you. I don't exactly have much, um, what's the word? I don't have exactly much faith in the Hapog tech support, and I don't want to phone them. That'd be ridiculous just to figure out how to fix this, I think. And I don't want to. I'll just keep emailing them or figure out how to do it myself. Now, one thing that I usually do in games like these is I usually tend to not so much destroy my enemy bases, but destroy only the infantry, the vehicles, the turrets, and capture everything else. Now, I won't do it in this playthrough because, let's be honest, that's kind of a waste of time, and I doubt you want to see me take care of a bunch of enemy buildings and capture them and use their resources against them. I think you just rather let me do what you probably do and most people do, and that's heavily annihilate them. But, well, we'll see. This level has been played a bunch of times too, so chances are it could just be that I don't want to go through and capture everything again. I will capture a few things. There's some things that are necessary to capture and some things that are bonus objectives to capture. I don't know what the bonus objectives do. Maybe they give you a higher score, but I tend not to do things for scores or trophies. And no, this is no longer the 90s. I don't go and rent video games from Blockbuster to have the highest score on it. That is what arcades used to be for, and well, I don't know, there's a Chuck E. Cheese nearby, but I doubt any adult person is playing the arcade at Chuck E. Cheese safe to not be bored when they're there with their own children. So, unfortunately, what was once a common thing in my youth, like pinball machines and arcades, are now a thing of the past. I haven't even seen decent arcade machines at the movie theater, and back when I was a kid, every movie theater had arcade machines. I'd go to the movie theater to play the arcade machines. To hell with the movie itself. But yeah, I believe I can sell this now. So that gets rid of that bonus objective. And the cool thing about selling a building is you get one infantry that's inside. So by capturing and selling that building, I now have access to a GDI unit. I think that's kind of cool. Now, I am going to capture that missile silo simply because, well, force a habit, and then I'm going to capture the Tiberium spike, which I believe gives me an extra 25 units of Tiberium every second or half a second. Can I build a silo yet? No. I don't know when I'll be able to build a silo, but oh well. Let's go and take these guys. I'll build one more unit. I'll get rid of the people that are potentially kill my engineer when I take the Tiberium spike. One thing I do find disappointing is you can only build units around node operation centers, which are these things. This has a sphere of influence, an outpost, refineries, and not motor vehicles, construction yards. You build a barracks, you can't build anything around it. Or it doesn't increase your sphere of influence to build. Same with power plants, which is really disappointing. Same with airfields. You don't build a war factory or armory. I don't know what it's called in this particular game, but you don't build one of those. And when you do, I sincerely doubt that you get to build around it. It's a relatively minor issue, but it's a issue I have nonetheless. I want to be able to build a big base and not be restricted, though I guess this does pose more of a challenge. Incoming transmission. Yeah, for this mission I only have to destroy the Hands of Nod, which I believe are the barracks war factories, and the construction yard now. In my past playthroughs, I captured I destroyed everything but the capture or the construction yard. Captured every other building and captured the construction yard for last. But unfortunately, that is just simply takes a while. There's no real benefit to do it other than, well, for lack of a better term, bragging rights. And while I usually do things for bragging rights in these kind of games, like build a big base and make sure I have a bunch of turrets around and the like, and that be, well, kind of relatively boring for my viewers. So I'm simply put, not gonna do it. That building is captured now. If I remember correctly, I have a bonus objective to build a silo. Aha! Finally, a silo. That silo is broken. Now, one thing I find confusing is it's very picky on where you can build. 'Cause you see, I can build here. I can build all around here. I can even build here, but I go over here, and it's a no. So it looks like it's potential that damaged areas are essentially a no-go. When I built my airfield the last few times, it wouldn't let me build in this particular area at all. I had to sell a power plant and build up here. Now, the reason I built a second barracks is that's for the, what am I thinking? That's for a bonus objective. Um, Gonna improve the game a little bit. Bonus objective, these are your objectives. Mine primary is to destroy the non-base, and right now, um, yeah, my bonus objectives are apparently all done. But it will eventually tell me to build a second infantry queue, which I didn't know what that meant till it was explained when I clicked it, and that's to build a second barracks. Who knew? I'm gonna build a couple more silos. And, oh, you know what the hell, let's build some more badass. It's cancel that. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Craig Wells, hence my channel name, Craig Wells. I was originally going to name it Slizery SOB, but for some reason it took my name directly from my Gmail account and didn't let me make my own. That, or I just kind of skipped over it and didn't see it, so too late. Oh well. It is what it is. Repair some stuff. So, my name is Craig Wells, and I am soon to be, quite possibly, the most hated man in America. I take great pride in this. I am about to release what will quite possibly be the most hated book in the continent, quite possibly even the world. More hated than Das Kapital, most hated than the Communist Manifesto, more hated than Mein Kampf. That book is called The Blasphemous Bible, and it is essentially a satirical rewrite of the Bible in full. Every verse, every chapter, every book, all 66 books I rewrote. I read the entire Bible and rewrote the entire Bible. It is essentially my giant fuck you to religion and Christianity. I wrote it to essentially piss people off. I think pissing people off is actually somewhat of a good thing. If it doesn't get them thinking, it at the very least gets the people around them thinking. I'm pissed off. Well, why are you pissed off? Let me tell you why I'm pissed off. And then they go, well, I agree with you, let's bitch about it. Or they go, that's a stupid reason to be pissed off, and it leads to debate. Now, those debates are usually hidden as argument, but debate argument. One's pretty much a civilized version of the other. And it gets people thinking, and it gets those around them, listening to them, thinking. I think getting people to think, whether through negative or positive motivation, I think that's a good thing. So yeah, my book was supposed to have been out by now in September 2015, but my publisher, 8th House Publishing, didn't realize the editing nightmare that it was, so it has been stalled due to auditing, and considering that the book will get a lot of flack and a lot of criticism, I at least want it to look professionally written in the least. I want it to have proper punctuation, proper grammar, proper sentence structure, proper spelling, and while I am a decent writer, I do tend to make the occasional typo, and one thing both my publisher and my editing friends told me is writers should never be trusted to edit their own work. They see what they intend to write, not what they actually wrote, so their mistakes, they're essentially kind of arrogantly blind to it. My publisher explained to me that in order to properly edit, you need to look at the words as characters and not as a sentence or a statement or anything like that. Now, well, that certainly makes sense to me. It's in my very nature to see it as a paragraph and not as a list of characters. So, hopefully my book will be announced end of this month or beginning of October, so anywhere between now and 4 weeks. My publisher will be accepting pre-orders, and it will hopefully be in the hands of people in time for the Christmas rush. They are hoping to accept pre-orders as soon as it's announced and have it on shelves and in hands by beginning to mid-December. They are really pushing for a pre-Christmas release. Worst case scenario, that don't happen and it gets pushed out and it gets released in January, but usually I'm the kind of person where I hope for the best and expect the worst, but my publisher really wants this done in time for Christmas, so I'm really thinking my book will be ready by Christmas. So I'll keep you all updated in my atheism and blasphemy a video playlist. And though, let's be honest, I'll probably talk about it here even though this is more for my other passion, and that's gaming. They say to do what you're passionate in life, and I am passionate about very few things. One is writing, the other is pissing people off. Yes, I am legitimately passionate about pissing people off, and I know that makes me an asshole, and I will openly admit it. I am the nicest asshole you will ever meet. Ask my close friends, ask my family. It is very, it is very hard to explain to others that what exactly a nice asshole is, but spend half an hour to a day to an hour with me and you'll quickly realize that, yeah, there are such things as nice assholes. Now, best way to describe it is I am blunt to a fault. I don't sugarcoat a damn thing. If you want me to tell you if your ass looks fat in those jeans, I will not only tell you that your ass does look fat in those jeans, I'll just blatantly tell you it's not the jeans' fault you have a fat ass. Don't come to me looking for sympathy. I will give you sympathy, but I will also give you what you need to hear and not a sugar-coated version of what you need to hear nor what you want to hear. I will be blunt and I will be honest with you. Just as I am blunt and honest with myself, and how I want people to be blunt and honest with me. I'd rather be told, hey, that's fucking dumb and here's why, than to be called, oh, that's nice, but this is better. No, bluntly tell me. Don't sugarcoat anything. Don't blow sunshine up my ass. This is where they give you access to the ion cannon, and you know what? I'll use the ion cannon to destroy the war factory here, and hopefully it'll destroy it. It's kind of a cool thing, but that's all the damage it does? Oh, it does more damage, okay. It actually did destroy the units and the like. What a relief. Now this is normally where I'd go and capture everything, but I destroyed more than I even intended to. I destroyed the power plants, the refinery, and an ore silo. So there's not much to capture here. I'll bring these guys up and have them destroy this, or it's giving me a tutorial for what I just destroyed. I only need to destroy this building, but to complete the level, but I'm gonna destroy it all, because if I can't capture it, no one can have it. Excuse me, I burped again. There's enemies that away. I am still disappointed that I am only given barracks and infantry and not any tanks or jeeps or buggies, but oh well. Take what I can get, and I don't really need any vehicles. It's just a nice option to have. I am about to destroy this base, and soon it'll go to the you win victory screen, and then the ending cutscene, which I will let you guys watch and hope to hell the audio is synced up. If not, Um, maybe if it's not synced up, I may very well scrap this video or not. It honestly depends on how frustrated I am when I do this playthrough for the dozenth time and find out that it's not up to the standards that I want it to have. It'll either be a fuck it or a to hell with it. Now, apparently you can't stand on Tiberium. I just beat the base. Haha. Here comes the victory logo. Victorious. And then there's a cutscene. Now, there's a woman here. Never mind. Now, up until now, I thought that one woman wasn't the same person, but looked really familiar to that one woman on the new Hawaii 5.0 series. She's Asian, and I don't want to be racist and say all Asians look alike because they don't, but she does look similar to her. But the woman on the Hawaii 5.0 has a more darker complexion, and this woman's more pale. They have similar facial features, they have similar hair, but I don't think it's the same woman because I just realized the voice in that particular clip seemed different. Now, these are just stats and the like, which, let's be honest, I don't give a damn about combinations for Valor and silver medals and the like, so once I click done, I'm gone. Take care, all. Bye.